Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Today I want to talk about something extremely serious, and it is perpetually causing us to be sheep and literally run off a cliff of a mountain, just run off a mountainside. And I just want to talk today on how you and I have been programmed to be poor. We've been programmed to be poor, and I dare you to share this video with your family and friends. But I only speak the truths because I grew up very poor, extremely poor, and rich with brothers and sisters, mother and father. But we were poor. We were poor. We couldn't even afford the other OR. Okay, that's how poor we were. But it's programmed, and most of you that are listening to me from the day of birth, you have been programmed to be poor. In schools, it starts by how we're programmed to just save, right? And the truth be told, you could save for retirement, but you can't save early to be successful and accumulate wealth in a short period of time. But if you're not investing, then you're not creating generational wealth. If you're just putting your money in the bank, you're not creating generational wealth. You should be investing your money. For those of you that don't know, my name is Larry Jones, and I'm going to have one link below on this one. And because I want you guys to understand why I'm making this video. Now, this video will be sponsored by my class, Stock Up University, and it literally takes any and everyone and shows you step by step how to invest. And I have these fine gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that help, okay? That's the only plug I'm going to have in this entire video. Now, let's get back to the matter at hand. Now, I want you guys to watch something. Never throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is a Susie Orman, okay? I just want you to listen to what she has to say, and then we will discuss, because this is a 30-second video. It is highly important for you guys to understand this one principle.
Let me give you an example. You're 25 years of age. You start putting $100 a month away right now into this account. And you do so every single month until you are 65 years of age. For 40 years. Do you know at the age of 65 you would have $1 million? If you start at 35 rather than 25, when you are 65 years of age, you will have only $300,000.
Start early. If you start early at 25, you literally gain another $700,000. But they won't teach you this in school because you are programmed to be poor. They tell you to put your money in the bank. When she's telling you the truth, I know she turns a lot of people off, but I want you to tell you, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. When someone's speaking the truth, you should listen. Now, let me show you what happens when bankers have your money.
How much of the $40 million are you planning to return? How many times are we going to do this dance?
Senator, I promise to cooperate with the regulators as they do.
Are you planning to return a single nickel to what you cost the fund?
Senator, I know there's going to be a process review of compensation.
I'll take that as a no. All right, so let's turn to our next one. Mr. Shea, you racked up more than $20 million in pay. So, Mr. Shea, the collapse of your bank cost the FDIC fund $2.5 billion. So how much of the $20 million that you earned from loading up Signature Bank with risk are you planning to return to the FDIC?
The answer is
none. That's it?
I am not planning to do so, no.
Okay, so here's the thing. Right now, the law says that people like Mr. Becker and Mr. Shea can come to Washington, they can lobby for weaker bank regulations, they can load up their banks with risk, they can pay themselves tens of millions of dollars in bonuses and stock options, and when the banks blow up, Mr. Becker and Mr. Shea get to keep all the money. And that is just plain wrong. And if we don't fix it, every CEO for these multi-billion-dollar banks will keep right on, loading up on risks and blowing up banks, and everybody else is going to have to pay for
The
it.
law says so. We keep putting our money in banks. There's nothing wrong with putting our money in banks. But when you put all of your money in banks, you cannot save your way into being financially successful. Invest it, right? Like the previous video with Susie Orman was telling you. Invest it, right? And so let me say something else. All of this talk about the bottom, I've made videos about the bottom. Looking for the bottom is a fool's trip. I'm going to say it again. Trying to time the bottom is a fool's trip. And I know all of these videos, I've talked about the bottom and have you missed the bottom and where is the bottom? I'm going to just tell you there's no such thing as the bottom because the market keeps moving. And not only does it keep moving and will continue to move for years, it's going to continue to get higher for years. So, for instance, let me show you this. All right. Let's go to Tesla. If you look at Tesla right now, right? Tesla's up 13,564. Right here, from here, this was 2020, right? And then what happened? COVID hit, right? And then it recovered. You know what people were saying in 2020, February 14? You know what they were saying? You missed the bottom. But here's what happens when you're not trying to time the bottom. You're simply trying to gain generational wealth. You just keep adding. You just keep adding. You just keep adding. You just keep adding. Yes, you're going to have some lows. You're going to have some highs. You just keep adding. Now, it's come off of its top 54%, right? And so what I'm encouraging you guys to do is stop and reprogram yourself. God didn't create you to work a job for the rest of your life, get sick and die. Start doing things now that will make a difference later. $100 a month is not going to alter your life at 25. It's not going to put you in a poorhouse. It just won't. And so I'm making this video and I want us to get refocused on the things that really, really, really matter. Look at this, good people. The Federal Reserve most recent data reveals that the average American has $65,000 in retirement savings, all right? Okay, by their retirement age, the average estimate is $255,000. $255,000. You know what you're going to do with $255,000? You're going to run out of money in no time flat. And here's just a basic rule of thumb that I want you guys to see. Take your monthly bills. Now I'm going to use a round number. Let's say it takes $5,000 a month to run your household, right? I know a lot of you it's way less and a lot of you it's way more. I'm just going to use $5,000 to run your household, right? That's $5,000 times 12 months. I want you to do that. Take your bills times 12 months, right? So if it's $5,000 to run your household for you to eat and live a decent life, right? Then and pay your bills, then that's 60, right? So you take your lifestyle, not just your bills, your lifestyle, whatever it is per month, times 12. That's a year, right? And then you take that times 25 because that is an average of years the average person will live after retirement, right? So if $5,000 was your monthly living expenses, including leisure, travel, everything else, then you need to retire with $1.5 million. That's just a Just a basic rule of thumb. That's not exact, and it's not a one size fit all. That's just something to think about, good people. All right. Talk to your licensed financial advisors. OK, that's what I want you to do. And so here, I want to show you this, the things that we consume, the things that we consume. Let's go back to 2008. That was the recession, right? So let's say you missed the bottom. And let's say you're here now. You missed the bottom, but you've bottomed out. And matter of fact, let's say you came down and you went right back. And, you thought to yourself by 2011, you missed the bottom, right? Even if you had started to invest in Starbucks then, you would be up 504% now. Just investing long-term in good, solid companies. Let's go to Apple. Everybody keeps saying Apple, Apple, Apple. And yes, I even said I think it's frothy right now, but it doesn't matter. Even if you consider dollar cost averaging in, even then, let's look at this, the same thing, 2009. Now this is 2009 after the recession. The recession started in 2007 and in 2009. Had you just continued, look at that. Somebody right here, it went down, it came up. They said you missed the bottom. Okay, then it went down, came up. They said you missed the bottom. It went down, came up. They said you missed the bottom. But had you just continued to average all of this time, you would be up 2,210%. 2,210%. And now they're talking about AI, another model that's going to take these platforms to the next level. So stop all of the foolishness with you missed the bottom. Wealthy people are not trying to time the bottom. Wealthy people are not worried about the bottom. Wealthy people concentrate on long-term money, long-term generational wealth. The only people that are complaining about missing the bottom are day traders. You and I know by now that over 90% of day traders actually lose money. You're actually more profitable if you just find some good companies and continue to fund those over a long time. So I need to go back. This video is going to be a little long because I need you guys to totally understand and get this. I want you to tell your young folk, play them this video. Let's listen to Susie Ullman one more time.
Let me give you an example. You're 25 years of age. You start putting $100 a month away right now into this account. And you do so every single month until you are 65 years of age. For 40 years. Do you know at the age of 65 you would have $1 million? If you start at 35 rather than 25, when you are 65 years of age, you will have only $300,000. Those 10 years cost you $700,000.
10 years cost you $700,000. Now, why don't they teach this in school? Because they don't want to, right? Because you have to fund the wealthy. Just understand that wealth is like the earth. It's no new earth being created, right? It's shifted. So the 5% has to take the money, right, from the 95%. And it is all by design. You don't even feel comfortable when you hear stuff like this because your mind is programmed. It's programmed against it. So when you hear things that make sense, your mind is so programmed against it, it makes you feel uncomfortable. And if you don't have a retirement, I challenge you to call Fidelity and set up an account today, a broker account. You could buy and pick your own stock. You could do it within a Roth IRA, which is a retirement fund. And instead of $100 a month, I challenge you right now, if you're later in life, start with $500 a month. Cut out the Starbucks, cut out the other stuff. And if you can't with $500, start with $250 a month. Start with where you can. The truth be told, you can start with $5 a day because even Fidelity allows you fractional shares. And that's what's called pre-tax money. So when you go to pull that out, you won't have to pay capital gains. So I know this one is lengthy, but I'm begging you guys to start early right now. And most important, start your kids out. All right? Stop watching TikTok. Learn about your money. Learn about building true generational wealth. Okay? And just be better, good people. Be better. All right? I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about it because I talk to people that are retiring and they don't have enough to live on. All right? So that's why I made this video. I love each and every one of you. Let me know if this helped you with anything. If you don't know how to set up a Fidelity account, just call them. They'll walk you through step by step. Okay? They are available. I don't get paid from Fidelity. And I just want you guys to start now. And then go to your local schools, right? And ask, why don't they teach this? Why? Not only that, why don't they allow it? They don't allow it in high schools and they don't allow it in colleges. But you know what they do allow? They allow the credit card companies to go and ravage our college kids and get them in debt. So not only do you graduate with college debt, but you graduate with credit card debt because it's by design. We're going to talk more about this. Okay, good people. Let me know if this has helped you and please share it with other pages. I'm sorry. Please share it with other people. OK, I love you guys. We'll see you later. I'm passionate. I'm so passionate. I'm just stumbling over myself. All right. But it is yours. But you got to recondition and reprogram your mind, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And that means she also. Live, love, laugh, learn.